Hello everyone! In today's video, we'll dig into how 3 fires ended up creating the most successful toy in history, the Lego brick. This is Icons, and if you like to dig into some interesting facts about everyday products, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Arguably, one of Danish's most famous experts, this tiny toy brick would never have seen the light of day if it weren't for its ingenious woodworker creator, Ole Kirk Christiansen, and a series of unfortunate events. Christiansen's ambition led him to open his own woodworking shop in 1916. At the time, he started by producing furniture, but just when the business was gaining traction, his sons accidentally set a pile of wood chips on fire, which ended up burning the whole place to the ground alongside their family's home. Despite this mishap, Christiansen saw it as the perfect opportunity to build an even larger workshop. In 1929, the American stock market crash, alongside Christiansen's wife's demise 3 years later, led him to have to lay off most of his staff to make ends meet. But little did he know that these strategies would lay the foundation for one of the business's greatest comeback stories. Challenging times appealed to Christiansen's ingenuity, and he decided to start creating inexpensive toys that he could actually sell. In the beginning, this move did not prove to be such a good financial decision, and Christiansen actually ended up filing for bankruptcy not so long after. However, his renewed love for toys would eventually push the company in the right direction, and that was when Christiansen ended up renaming it Lego, derived from the Danish words leg and got, which literally translates to play well, to reflect such a move. When it came to producing toys, Christiansen refused to cut corners, and soon his Pool Toys prototypes gained a national fan base, of which one of his best sellers, a wooden duck, whose beak opens and closed when pulled, is still to this day one of his most coveted collectibles. In 1942, as Germany occupied Denmark, Christiansen's factory was once again the victim of a fire that burned it to the ground. By then, with the end of World War II, Christiansen started to look further into the advances of plastic injection molding, preempting the traditional manufacturing product shortage that many consumer goods manufacturers were victim of. Going against the ban imposed by his own government until 1947, Christiansen bought Denmark's first plastic injection molding machine in 1946 to start experimenting with it for his toys. By 1949, the company would end up creating a plastic product called the automatic binding brick. These looked a lot like today's Lego bricks and were heavily inspired by a set of self-locking bricks invented by a British company, Kittycraft. Lego says Kittycraft gave them the authorization to use the design, but in 1981 they formally bought the rights to Kittycraft bricks from their inventor's descendants. Though they were not Lego's most popular toys, they became more and more popular as the years went by. Christiansen would end up dying in 1958, just as Godfred, one of the sons that accidentally burnt down the Lego shop at 4 years old, was about to introduce the full-blown system of play to the world based on the simple automatic binding bricks. The automatic binding bricks were hollow on the inside, and Godfred saw the need to improve their design after having received several customer complaints that pointed out that the models built with the company's plastic building bricks were lacking stability and clutch power. To improve this aspect of the company's most successful toy at the time, Godfred came up with the idea to insert 2 hollow tubes underneath the brick. Godfred's team took 5 days to turn this idea into a fully functional prototype and began the process of filing for its patent. However, on his way home from Billund, Godfred would end up coming up with the Lego brick design we know today, featuring 3 inner clutch tubes instead of 2, since this would even provide better interlocking characteristics between parts. On the following day, Godfred ended up creating a new brick sample by cutting up and gluing together existing elements to form this new 3-tube design, which is sent to the patent office via an express courier. Only a few days later, on January 28, 1958, the Lego Group would end up being granted the patent for a new type of building system. A system designed on the principle that all blocks should interlock and be interrelated to increase both the imaginative potential of kids and sales. One of the secrets behind the success of LEGO's building system is that their design remained the same since it was patented, allowing for a LEGO block produced in 1955 to still be interlocked with any other part produced today. The other one is their quality standards. Reflected on the LEGO factory staff t-shirts is the brand motto that goes "Kunt dat best godt nok," or "Only the best is good enough." The tale goes that Christiansen's father's attention to detail was so meticulous that in the company's early wooden toy days, after his son proudly announced to have saved his father a considerable sum of money by painting the latest consignment with 2 coats of varnish instead of 3, Ole got furious and sent his son rushing off to the railway station to bring the toys back and do the job properly. This quality is still reflected in today's LEGO block molds. Accurate to within 0.002 of a millimeter, these tools allow the company to have only around 18 bricks in every million produced to fail to meet their high quality standards. This quality standard, allied with a high manufacturing capacity, made LEGO one of the largest tire manufacturers in the world when in 1961 and 1962 the LEGO wheels were introduced. This new part expanded children's imagination even further by allowing them to build cars, trucks, buses and other vehicles using LEGO bricks. With an estimated use of 19 tons of plastic every year and the ever-increasing climate consciousness of the entire world population, LEGO has been forced to take steps to adapt and change in order to make its toys more environmentally friendly. The first step in the right direction was taken when in 2014 LEGO terminated its 50-year long-term partnership with Shell and 4 years later announced that a new type of plastic made from sugarcane would be used for greenery to accomplish the goal of having all their core products made from sustainable materials by 2030. On par with this initiative, there is also the opportunity for people in Canada and the USA to donate their LEGO sets and pieces to be used by children in need. At the time of putting this video together, 136,000 kilograms of LEGO have been donated to this scheme. From its dramatic start, going through their design, motto, curious fact, and environmental strategy going forwards, these were 5 facts about LEGO and its colored bricks that you were probably unaware of. And that's it for today's video, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave us a like and subscribe to our channel. Make sure to turn that notification bell on and let us know in the comment section down below which products you'd like to see featured in future videos. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.